Welcome back to What Arty Noobs for General Disturbance. This is a series of Onslaught games provided by jksoler of Tilt. Now, Onslaught, if you didn't know, was a game mode that was introduced by Wargaming in 2020, I think it was originally, and is for 7x7 tier 10 tanks. And you can select which tank you want to be in ahead of the game. Now, jksoler has actually decided he's going to be in the Bobject. Now, the Bobject is the Object 268 version 4. It's got a 152mm main gun, which means that it's capable of doing 650 alpha, 293mm pen, and with the heat rounds, it'll go up to 360mm. It's incredibly strong armor, and the only player, or the only crew member who's up front is, of course, the driver. Everyone else is in the back in the crew compartment. Okay. He's decided to go up the west side of the map, and he's going to stop in the communications area to get an idea of where the enemy is. He spotted an Object 705 who fires and blocks, and he fired one back, and he got, well, 650 damage blocked and no penetration on the enemy. But we've got the signal, so we know where the enemy is. You don't know where the enemy is right at the start of the game, but oh, now this is an artillery strike coming in on this tank, and he does a bit of a ram. Good one, goes for lower plate. Yep, punches that right in. Gets a high roll for 652. Takes one from the 705. But wait for this. Oh, he's gone. Killed by the Centurion Action 10. Okay, we've got the enemy Blyskowicka, Polish tank destroyer. Now we've got a nice little pen on him as well for 650, 666, which is a high roll. Oh, he suddenly realised we've gone around the corner and he has to turn to face us. Well, we'll wait till we're grappling and we punch one through his frontal armour. Now, it's all about either killing all the enemy or capping out. The cap center is actually right in the center of the map. And capping out does earn you points. You can get the artillery and, of course, the observation skills by going into those circles after they've restored. And, of course, you get the spotter tank, the light tank, can actually send out a spotter plane so we can find out where the enemy is. The Batchat takes a huge hit for 661, and he's now off because he doesn't want another shot. And he sneakily gets across the center there, tries to run away. Oh, that was a bit of a waste because he could have put that one into the Badger instead. Unfortunately, he didn't. But he's coming up behind the Badger, and we just took a round from an E50, which is behind us. But I think the Badger's going to take that one. Yep, another low roll. The E50 keeps punching rounds into our rear. There he is. He actually went round us. Now, we've got a choice. We can either kill the Badger or the E50. Which one are we going to do? Well, it's the Badger. And that now means there's only 3 enemies left, but there's only 3 on our team as well. And we're the ones capping. Well, the E50 comes around the corner. And he manages to track us, but he backs around the corner into our E4 and he takes him out of the game. And you can see there's the Batchat 25 ton over there and an E5. The E5 says 7x7, and that's because it's a tank that's been given to the player by Wargaming to allow them to take part in the contest. Now, at the moment, they're trying to hide in this corner so they can complete the cap, because completing the cap does earn you points. The Batchat is trying to stop our Blyskowicka, and he's killed him with 2 shots. And our E4 has come out of the cap area and is chasing after the Batchat 25 ton. Now, JK realizes that that's the last enemy, so all he needs to do is hide from the guy and complete the cap, and then the Batchat can't do anything. And okay, right, when he's got behind the wagons, the Batchat's trying to get a shot on us. He can't. He backs up a little to shoot down the center and then takes a round in return, and we blocked that with a shot that hit the tracks. So we're still capping, and he's got very little time left, and I don't think he can make it to get a reset. He left it too late, and that's it. JK's capped out, and they've won the game. Here's the end of battle stats, and jksoler managed to do very well in the Object 268 version 4 because he capped out to win, and he got a win 8 of 5,078 in that game, still alive at the end. Let's have a look at the team score. Well, he got a highest damage of 5,893 hit points. The second highest was actually the E5 on the enemy team with 4,363. And the third highest was their Badger with 3,976. But both those guys were taken out the game. When it came to kills, you can see top scorer was the E4, got 2 kills. And on the enemy team, the E50M and the Batjack both got 2 kills. But of course, they weren't in the cap and they didn't get the reset. And when it came to base XP, we can see jksoler got the highest with 1,227, followed by the E4 got 1,011, followed by the Canopener who got 1,002 in that game. He fired 10 rounds with that big gun, the 152 on the object or Bobject. He got 9 direct hits and 8 penetrations, 5,893, all of it at close range. 12 hits received from the enemy, only 4 of which actually penetrated. 8 non-penetrations blocked by that huge amount of armor and the tracks, 4,200 hit points blocked, and 3 enemy vehicles spotted, 5 enemy vehicles damaged, 1 killed, and he got 133 of spotting and 78 capture points in the cap. He actually made a loss on that game, 18,328 credits, but he did get 5 bonds and he got 7,363 experience points in this game as well. And remember, this is his own tank. It's not one that he's been given for the game. He actually does have an Object 268 version 4. So even if he suffers a loss in the game, he's still benefiting from the bonds and, of course, the experience. Okay, let's have a look at the second game, which is on the mines map. Here's the start of the game, and as you can see, we've got the artillery zones in the water and on the island. And here are the tier 10 vehicles. You can select which vehicle you want to have and the configuration before the battle starts. So in this game, jksoler actually wants to use the Canopener, and that's what he's selected. He's right in the center. Game on. Well, the Canopener is the FV230, a double-barreled British heavy tank. With a 120mm main gun, it's capable of doing 420 alpha, and with the standard shells, 258mm pen. With APCR, he's actually got 318mm of pen. So, enemies coming up to the center. Yeah, the configuration of these maps looks slightly different in Onslaught. The rocks look different, everything, well, positions of most things is different as well. And Onslaught is all about obtaining a ranking to show how good a player you are. Okay, Panzerkampfwagen 7 to our right. A Canopener on the enemy team just around the corner. And there's an E900 there at the moment. He's actually maneuvering just to try and get shots on the enemy without getting shot himself in the process. Okay, we can see the tracks, but he doesn't open fire. And that's an artillery strike going in on the enemy tanks. And it has stunned them. Now it looks like we are achieving certain skills, such as the artillery strikes and the Canopener. That was a double shot. He hit us with a single shot for 389, but we pumped 849 hit points of damage into the enemy. The E900 is a one shot, and there's a T57 heavy over there. So we've reloaded and we've got one shell ready, and he takes the E900 out of the game. Now he blocked that shot. That's a huge hit there, blocked. And he pumps one back into the Panzer 7. And the guy is now one shot, actually. So this could be interesting because the Panzer 7 could be about to die. He's trying to angle a shot on our guys, and yes, he does go down. And JK gets the kill. Now we've got 3 in the cap at the moment, and the Canopener goes down. He managed to get a lower play shot. And I think that T-57 Heavy is on his last legs. And yes, he was. So he's out the game as well. I think we've got no sound on the vehicles at the moment. We're certainly getting the gunfire, but no engine noises. So I think that may be because the game is not functioning properly. Yes, Sport Gaming still haven't fixed that problem. Oh, now this is interesting because we've got the IS-7 coming in, and the TVP T5051 is a bit further back. And yes, we're getting told to fall back by our Superconk. But you can see JK is still pumping rounds into the enemy as they approach the cap. And they're not stopping him from capping, it's forcing the enemy to come closer. And in fact, he takes down the TVP and gets his 4th kill there. Okay, the IS-7 is now in a whole heap of trouble. He just got a nice little pen on that guy. 424, which is a high roll. Now he pokes his head round the corner and goes for the plate, and he gets him. And that's his 5th kill in this game. There's only one more enemy left. Unfortunately, he can't get a Top Gun because that's not awarded. But his teammates are very keen to take the last kill, the E4, because if he does get killed, that ends the game with a win for JK's team. Yeah, it looks like they're both unloading their guns into the E4. And there's not much he can do about it. And that's it. The game's over. They've won. Well, here's the end of battle stats. And unfortunately, we're not showing the win 8 on this particular game. But we do know that he managed to get a nice amount of credits as well as XP out of it. Let's have a look at the team scores. Well, we can see the highest damage in this game actually went to the Super Conqueror on his team, who got 5,733 hit points of damage. Second highest damage went to the 705A, who got 4,129. And the third highest damage, that went to JK, who got 3,959. But of course, when it came to kills, JK was top. He got 5 kills in that game. 2 kills went to the Super Conqueror, and each of the enemy tanks, well, 4 of them managed to get 1 kill apiece. When it came to base XP, we can see is JK right at the top with 1,423, followed by the Super Conqueror, who got 1,412, and then, of course, the 705 managed 1,061. They were all the tanks that were alive at the end of the game. He fired 12 rounds. Every round hit the target. 11 of them penetrated. 3,959 hit points of damage, all of it done at close range. He received 8 hits from the enemy, but only 5 of those actually penetrated. He blocked 3 shots and 880 hit points of damage. 1 enemy vehicle was spotted, 6 enemy vehicles damaged, 5 killed, and he got 600 hit points of spotting assist in the game and 34 capture points right at the end of the game. He earned 34,763 credits from the game, including a 50,000 mission completion. He got 5 bonds for this being tier 10 and 4,269 experience points out of this game as well. So on the second game, he got a victory, and I think that was a fun one because it showed that actually by being in the cap, you were forcing the enemy to come and engage you so that you could actually then kill them. And I think the E4 bit off more than he could chew, and eventually he got chased away by our teammates. Let's have a look at the third game. Here's the third game, and in this one, JK has actually decided to go with the TVP T5051, the medium tank from Czech Republic, which is actually quite an assassin. There he goes. Now this gun is, if I remember correctly, a 100mm main gun, capable of 320 alpha, 248mm of pen with standard APCR, and with the heat rounds, it's capable of doing 310mm of penetration. Now you see they started on the west spawn point. It's basically an encounter game, and the cap area is near the town, so going to the lake is actually quite helpful to actually see where the enemy is and then work out what you need to do next. Now they've got the vision, or they've got the radio tower, which means they're now seeing where we are. Yep, Sixth Sense went off there. As soon as they've got eyes on the enemy, or as soon as they've got the radio tower, they've got our full location. They could send in a spotter plane, or their light tank could send in a spotter plane to work out where we are. But of course that spotting only lasts for a short period of time. Okay, so he's zooming up the railway line, and he's got the Batchat 25 ton in his company. Oh, I don't think he intended for that to happen, but they kind of just ran into each other. They've got quite a good top speed, actually. 60 kilometers an hour is top speed of the TVP. So they're actually coming up behind the enemy, and now their Batchat 25 ton is kind of stuck in the center of the lake. And there he is. Now we can unload these shells and take him out the game. Well, we took one 105mm round from the Batchat, but that's all, and he's out the game now. You can see the Blyskowitska was last seen near the radio tower. I think he intends to cover that, and of course by being in that spot he can actually cover the cap area. Oh, there's the Blyskowitska. He's actually pulled back. Pumps one in, didn't get it, but that did. It does have fast speed on the shell, but the thing was that the vehicle was moving incredibly quickly when he fired, and those shells were zipping past his rear. So he's now reloading. Does take a little while to reload on the TVP. Normal reload is 28 seconds, and his reload here was about 20 if I remember. And yes, some of those shells didn't hit the target. 22.51 is his reload. Oh, and the Batchat just took a big hit. Now we've got to wait for the reload to complete, but we can take this guy down. There you go. And there's only 4 enemies remaining. Of course, the TVP T5051, designed in 1950 and 51, there were no prototypes. It was blueprints only, but it was supposed to be a fast medium with a very good and accurate gun that could unload, being an autoloader, could unload 5 shots into the enemy very, very quickly indeed. Or 4 shots, not 5, sorry. Okay, there's a Heshbon in there. Yes, you might notice there's something else, but we have children watching this channel, so therefore we can't call it what everyone else calls it, and I don't really want to anyway. I'd much rather call it the Heshbon because it was designed to fire Hesh at the enemy. And here comes the STP, and yes, he's rear end to us, and he goes out with 2 shots. Now we don't pop the reload, and there's 2 enemy tanks. He kills one, the lower hit point one, then kills the other, who was capping at the time to try and get the skill, and they're both gone. And here's the Heshbon, a ram, and he gets the kill on the ram. And they both try to have a go at him, and that's the end of the game. So that was a brilliant one at the end. Well, that was an interesting game right at the end. He managed to get 5 kills. Well, he got 3 kills in a matter of seconds by taking out several tanks. First the STP, then he took out, I think it was the 430U, and the next one was the Batchat 25 ton, or was it the Blyskowitz? Anyway, no, it was the ST2. Sorry, it was the ST2. but he managed to get 5 kills very quickly, and his win rate in that game 1,852. Let's have a look at the team score. Well, when it came to the damage he did, he actually only got 2,168. The high scorer was the AMX M454 with 4,070, followed by our IS7 who got 3,976, followed by the Batchat 25 ton on our team who got 3,568. When it came to kills, we got the highest number of those, 5 kills, with 3 of those kills, or was it 4 of those kills, in quick succession actually. Because, of course, the only tank he didn't kill in the town was, in fact, the Blyskavitska. And when it came to base XP, he's top on that. 1,161 base, with 1,090 going to the AMX M454, who had the highest damage, and 1,075 went to the Batchat 25 ton, who accompanied us up the railway line. He fired 17 rounds. He got 12 direct hits and 9 penetrations. 2,168 hit points of damage, of which 1,823 were at more than 300 meters. The TVP T5051 can be a bit of a sniper in many ways, as you saw when he was dealing with the Blyskavitska. 1 hit received, it was a penetrating shot. He damaged 6 of the enemy, killed 5, and he did 1,155 hit points of damage assist or spotting assist in the game. The one shot that actually hit him was from the Batchat 25 ton that was trapped in the center of the lake. I think that guy just made a tactical error by going up the center. He made himself fairly obvious. Even though he was a Batchat and very small, he was still taken out because, of course, the TVP does have a tremendous fire rate. It literally blasts the shells at the enemy so fast that it's very difficult for the enemy to do anything to protect themselves. Now, he did make a loss in this game, 43,217 credits, but I'm pretty sure he'll be happy to receive 28 bonds, which is 25 for mission achievement and 3 for this vehicle's ability. And he got 3,483 experience points out of the game as well. So another game where he's actually managed to get a huge number of kills out of it, and he sent this one in to show us his skill. Let's have a look at the last game that he sent us. Well, here's the 4th and final game in this video, and you can see that JK has actually opted to go with the Canopener again. Now, Wargaming, I think, were quite surprised that very few players actually opted to go with it. In fact, it's very few people actually play Onslaught because, of course, it's just for the bragging rights and, of course, to pick up a few more bonds and credits in the game. Now, he got spotted fairly quickly there. I think that may be down to other players putting the spotter plane on them. Did get 1 hit from the STB. He's popping up the ridgeline again. Blocks that shot. You'll see the other one was shot down onto the turret because the top of the turret on the Canopener is vulnerable. It can be overmatched. Okay, he's popped back. Pull this STB-1 over the top. In fact, the STB-1 is actually being fired at by our teammates. So it's pretty good that we're actually doing this. And now we've gone into the cap. Yeah, we got a pen there. He hit the tracks. Now he's in trouble because we've got company. And if he pops up anymore, he's likely to get hit. And that one did go in, but we received 1 round from a Batchat. In fact, the Batchat's now being assassinated by a TVP on our team who went behind. So now we're pushing up to provide a little bit of extra help. And there goes the enemy STB-1. And that's wasn't a kill for JK. It was actually a kill for the CF-63 on our team. But the enemy team has now been surrounded. And yep, there you go. That was a double shot. 848 hit points into the 60 TP. JK still doesn't have a kill, but he's certainly doing a lot of damage to the enemy. Okay, you can see the enemy is now being pushed. Oh, blocked the shot, came back from the Object 277. I think you have to understand the game in order to actually play it well. it's not necessarily all about damage in this game. It's actually more about tactical and being able to play the enemy into a weak position so you can take advantage of them. That's why it's very useful to know where the enemy is. And we don't know where that AMX-50, but that was a mined area now. There's the 277. He takes one round and we get tracked as well. He got outmaneuvered there, but he comes back and gets a hit. Only one shell. Now using the house for cover. The 277 is now too busy with our TVP and the CS63, so now we can come up behind him and put one in the side. Well, he puts one in the rear and now the TVP can kill him. Well, the TVP's just killed the 277, and that means now the enemy's down to just two tanks. A Batchat 25 ton, which is a loner, there we go, and the AMX-50B. Wasn't able to get that second round in, but he might get it. Oh no, lost sight of him. Now we're approaching the artillery circle. The artillery skill, that's where the Batchat went. He's just around that corner waiting for us to pop out, and he's gone behind the building but doesn't stop around hitting him, and the TVP comes in for the kill. Unfortunately, he's the one who goes down, not the Batchat. There's a lot of wrecks around this circle, so he's building up speed to get around the buildings, providing very good cover for the Batchat. There he is. Oh, it's the AMX-50 there. There's the Batchat. Ow. That's from the AMX-50. And again, now we need to get between these tanks to make it difficult. There's the Batchat. He's auto-aimed on, which is a mistake because these ridgelines actually stop you hitting the vehicle. They'll point into the ground. Now you can get him. Goes for the rear. Gets the shot. Takes another hit from the MX-50 and a shot from the Batchat. Does get around in. He's now protected from the MX-50. He's trying to get two shells together. It's just us alive now against that Batchat, but the Batchat gets absolutely hammered by double shot. And now we're repairing the vehicle at the moment. So just the AMX-50 left. There he is. Okay. Pumps one in. Gets 436. It's going for the ram. Well, didn't get a ram, but he did double shot. And he did get something out of that. 400 hit points blocked. Can he get another kill? Trying to pull the guns around to bear on the target. He's loaded and he fires and wins the game. Wow. Well, that was a very exciting game at the end for jksoler in the FV230 Canopener. He managed to get 2 kills in the game, but both the tanks at the end of the game, the Batchat and the AMX-50B. His top score in that game was 5,989. Wasn't the highest damage, though. In fact, it was the MX-50, I think, who got the highest damage, 6,878, followed by the by JK. And then after that, it was the TVP T5051 who got 4,939 hit points of damage, but he got taken out by the Batchat. When it came to kills, we can see top scorer was in fact the Batchat, got 3 kills. 2 kills went to JK and also to his TVP CS63. And on the enemy team, also the Batchat managed to get, it was not the Batchat, the MX-50 got 2 kills. And when it came to base XP, it's JK who got the highest, 1,350 to him, 1,275 went to the TVP, and 1,181 went to the CS63. He fired 21 rounds, but he got 16 direct hits and 15 penetrations, 5,989 hit points of damage, all of it at close range. Received 21 hits from the enemy, only 9 of which actually penetrated, 12 non-penetrations, and 4,040 hit points of damage blocked by armor. 1 enemy vehicle spotted, 5 enemy vehicles damaged, 2 killed, and he got 158 hit points of spotting assist in the game. On a premium count, he actually made a loss of 4,716 credits from that game. Yes, ammunition supply, he was using premium rounds, and they were expensive. But he did get 4,050 experience points as well. And it was, as he said, a very difficult win against 2 autoloaders right at the end. But they just couldn't load quick enough to actually get the shells into him. And in fact, that's what saved him in the end. Because, of course, he was just a standard shell, well, a double-barreled shell, you might say. But, yes, he was a standard player against 2 autoloaders. And the fact that they were autoloaders made their reload much longer. And that's where they got killed, because, of course, he was able to reload faster than they could. For just 1 shell, they were really reloading a full batch. And, yes, he managed to get the rounds in where they counted to get the kills. Hope you enjoyed those replays. Very interesting to watch the Onslaught game. Don't think I'll be playing it myself, even though anyone can play it if they just use one of the vehicles provided by Wargaming, the ones that are marked 7x7. But, yes, it's not as easy as you think. In fact, it's very difficult to play this game, and I think you have to be really into it in order to benefit from it. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, thanks very much for watching, and please give it a like.